Good morning, guys.
Good morning, guys.
So it is Friday, May 1st, and this is the last live for the week. So this workout is really hard. So hopefully you guys can do it with us. Esmeralda's gonna do the alternative, and I'm gonna try to do the full thing. And we'll be stopping it so you guys can get some breaks. Go drink some water. All right. You ready, Esme?
Ready?
All right, let's get started.
What's up? Aaron here. I'm not gonna lie, this total body workout is totally intense. Are you ready to go the speed of fire? We're gonna march, get those knees up high.
Get those knees up.
All right, guys, we're gonna do a squat jack. Just a second, here we go.
Come on. You can do it. Work those quads. Come on. Hey. You can do it. Work it.
All right, we're gonna vertical box with an elliptical. Here we go.
Keep breathing and work it. Opposite arm, opposite leg.
Couple more, keep it going.
You got this. There's no stopping now.
All right, back into squat jacks.
Hey, come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Hey, work those quads. Come on. You can do it.
All right, side boxers.
What you want to do? What you want to do? What you want to do?
Add an elliptical, here we go.
Come on. Work it. Work it. Work it. Punch it out.
All right, everyone catch your breath. This last part's gonna be tough. I need you to breathe deep. All right, deep breath in.
Okay, we should stop it right here. Just to give everyone a chance to go get some water. Rest real quick. Yeah.
They're very controlled.
we're still live. Ready to go. All right, guys. Last part. You guys ready?
In and out. All right, let's get ready for squat jack jumps. Feet out, in, up. If this is too tough, look at my buddy David and touch the sky.
Come on.
You did it. I'm sure you're tired. I know I am. Let's take a moment to cool down. Breathe in and out. Now tense all your muscles and release. One more time. Tense all your muscles and release. Nice. Have an awesome day. Fresh start out.
Want to go full Go Noodle? Then click here and create a free account. We've got hours and hours and hours and hours of indoor recess and Fresh Start Fitness waiting for you.
Hi guys, we're here at the Microbiology Laboratory at Hamilton Health Sciences.
All right, so this next section is about germs and washing your hands. So hygiene. But they're going to demonstrate what it looks like for, germs growing. So you'll be able to see the germs grow in a little petri dish, and they're going to explain how that process works.
Is Hamilton General Hospital, and I'm joined today by Dr. Cheryl Main. We're going to show you guys the power of proper hand washing as we come into flu season. We're going to try out some really cool experiments so you can get a look at just how gross that stuff on your hands really is. So we're going to use a process called culturing, which is using this plate here to help develop the bacteria that you'd normally see on your hands so that you can visually see it without a microscope. And we're going to start with just plain unwashed hands.
Yes.
So I've touched stuff like doorknobs and handles and things that I might in my everyday life. And then what do we do next here?
So this plate has agar, which will allow the bacteria to grow. So take your 3 fingers and just press them onto the plate, just enough that you can sort of make a little dent in it. So then this will go into an incubator overnight and we'll see what grows.
So now we've got our slide with our unwashed hands, and now we're going to wash our hands two ways. How do people normally wash their hands?
To properly wash your hands, you need to wash them for at least 20 seconds. People often don't spend enough time, they don't take off their jewelry, and they don't dry their hands properly, which is an important component in getting the hands clean.
So now we're going to do it the right way.
Right. So you need to take off your ring and start up the water, and you're going to wash your hands for about 20 seconds, which seems like a really long time. It's about the length of time it takes to sing the song Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday Dr. Charmaine, happy birthday to you.
When you're finished washing, rinse them off and leave the water on. Get a towel, and once you've dried your hands, you can use the towel to turn off the water so you don't recontaminate your hands. Good job.
And so another great option is to use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
They're highly effective, and they don't require you to have access to a sink or paper towels. And as long as you rub in the hand sanitizer until your hands are fully dry, it's just as effective as washing at a sink for most things. So this is our plate that was cultured before hand washing. And each of the little white spots that you see on the plate is a colony of bacteria growing. Each of those spots started with one bacteria, and then they've grown into thousands to millions of bacteria, so much that we can actually see them with the naked eye.
And so that's why it's so important to be thorough in our hand washing. And we can't actually see viruses because they can only grow inside cells. But this principle does kind of give you a bit of a look into how they might grow and develop and move from surface to surface. So while we can't see them, just as important to get those off of our hands.
Correct. So let's see what your plate looks like when you wash your hands really poorly. So in this plate, you can see that there are still bacteria growing, maybe not as many as before you washed your hands, but lots of white dots here that represent colonies of bacteria.
I did not do a very good job.
No, you didn't.
And this is all stuff that you can pass on from contact. So those little guys are going to live on the surfaces of your hands, and when you touch others or surfaces, they'll keep living. They won't die. They'll just move on to the next.
That's right.
Ooh.
Okay, now let's see how well you did when you washed your hands well. So
Well,
with
look at that.
proper hand washing, we have almost no bacteria. We still have a few white dots, but not as many as before, and these are just skin organisms. Well, skin is a nice environment for bacteria to grow. It's nice and moist and warm, and it has nutrients just from the proteins in the skin. When you wash your hands, we do a number of things. So the soap itself helps to kill the bacteria, but the physical rubbing, the friction that we produce, wipes off some of them and damages them as well. And then when you dry your hands properly, you're getting rid of even more. So you get a lot more benefit if you wash your hands properly and dry them fully.
So I really hope that seeing this up close, seeing all of these germs and the way they grow and develop has been a good reminder for you to wash your hands thoroughly. It can prevent the spread of bacteria, it can prevent the spread of viruses like flu, and especially this time of year, that is so important. Thanks so much, Cheryl.
My pleasure.
Very important. Even though we wash our hands, let's keep washing our hands often. Because it shows that even though if you try to wash your hands, you could still get some bacteria.
Yeah, so be sure to wash your hands often and don't touch your face. And you're supposed to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. And the way you can remember that is you can sing the song Happy Birthday while you're washing your hands, because it takes about 20 seconds to wash them. Or to sing that song.
And somebody's saying hi to us.
Hi, Hector. Who's that? Oh, it's Haiti. Hey, Haiti.
Hi, Haiti.
Sure to wash your hands, Haiti.
When we hear the word emotion, most of us think of love, hate, happiness, or fear. Those strong feelings we experience throughout life. Our emotions are the driving force behind many of our behaviors, helpful and unhelpful. Just where do our emotions come from? Our brain is wired to look for threats or rewards. If one is detected, the feeling region of the brain alerts us through the release of chemical messages. Emotions are the effect of these chemical messages traveling from our brain through the body. When our brain detects a potential threat, our brain releases the stress hormones adrenaline and cortisol, which prepare us for a fight or flight response. When we detect or experience something rewarding, such as someone doing something nice for you, our brain releases dopamine, oxytocin, or serotonin. These are the chemicals that make us feel good and motivate us to continue on the task or behavior. In these instances, the feeling region of the brain kicks in before the thinking part. Sometimes the reactions of the feeling brain are so strong that it dominates our behaviors and we're unable to think rationally in the moment. Our emotions hijack our brain. While many of our emotional responses happen subconsciously, our thinking can influence our emotions, and sometimes this can be unhelpful. Just thinking about something threatening can trigger an emotional response. This is where we can manage our emotions with conscious thinking.
I want to stop it right there for 1 second. What he's explaining right now is, for example, let's say you're here at the program and you don't want to go out that day because you don't want to go do work. You're already thinking that you don't want to do work or it's going to be hard. So the emotion part of your brain releases chemicals to your body that make you feel like it's a bad thing, that you don't want to do it anymore. And that's how you're gonna feel. But if you come to the program or you go somewhere else, and you start thinking, well, it's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy doing my volunteer work. I'm going to enjoy hanging out with my friends. Then your brain releases dopamine, and that's the chemical that makes you feel happy. So just by thinking about the future in a positive way will help you, and it'll make you feel better. You'll feel happier.
Our emotions play a powerful role in the way we experience the world. Understanding and regulating our emotions through our thoughts and behaviors can help us take greater control of our brain and achieve our goals.
When it comes to work skills, they can be broken.
So the next segment is employment training. It'll be work skills. again. It'll be what hard skills are.
Down into two types: hard skills and soft skills. They're pretty different from one another, but both are necessary to be successful on the job. Let's take a look at the differences between the two. Hard skills are concrete skills that are specific to your job and are required for you to actually do your work. For example, if you're a chef, cooking would be a hard skill. Or if you're a computer programmer, coding would be an example. Soft skills, on the other hand, are interpersonal or people skills that can be used in every job. These include communication, teamwork, and adaptability. Hard skills are generally learned through school, training, or previous work experience. They're more objective, meaning that once you've learned the information or task, you would then possess that skill. Soft skills are more difficult to develop. You'll need to practice them over time in the real world with others. They come naturally to some people, while others may not have such an easy time with them. Hard skills are easy to measure. Employers can get a good idea of your hard skills by looking at your education, previous experience, and certifications. Soft skills are harder to evaluate. They can't really be communicated well through your cover letter or resume. Instead, employers usually have to wait until an interview or your first few weeks on the job to get a good idea of your soft skills. Despite their differences, you'll need both hard and soft skills if you want to become more hireable or be successful in your current job.
So I know they said a lot of words, but I'm going to try to explain it a little bit simpler. So for example, hard skills would be being able to work with cars, being able to fix cars, being able to do roofing, or something where it requires you to be physically active in the, and something you learned from
school, from a
college.
friend. Yeah, for example, like if you working as a cashier, you need to know how to manage the machine
and count money. So those are hard skills.
Money, and then also that
if, for example, if you are good at soccer and you're a soccer player, that's a hard skill. That's not something you learned through soft skills. That's a hard skill because you're good at it.
So whatever you learn, hard skills, it will be whatever they require for you to qualify to get that job.
Yeah.
And soft skills is communication, working together, and adapting to new changes.
So like being a nice person is a soft skill. Listening, active listening is a soft skill. And fixing things is a hard skill. Or working with tools is a hard skill.
Goodwill Community Foundation, creating opportunities for a better life.
These are time management tips to help you succeed. So I don't think this one has audio, so I will read it to you. So writing things down, it'll help you remember. So let's say you have something to do later on in the day, write it down. That way you can, just by writing it down, it'll increase the chances of you remembering what you need to do. So you can just write it down. This would be more of that. So you write it down on a planner, or let's say you have a little calendar on your wall. Just write it down.
So you don't forget.
That
help you.
Yeah. So you have to take out the trash. Write it down on your planner or on your little calendar on your wall, and try to look at it every day. Or if you tend to forget a lot of things, try to look at it every 20-30 minutes, so you can know what you have to do. So also, it'll keep you from procrastinating, and you won't forget about it. Remember to submit your work before the deadline.
So, for example, if you're working and your boss told you to ask you to do something, let's say if you work as a janitor and your boss asks you to clean the bathrooms before 10 o'clock, you have to do it before that time. So when your boss go and check, your bathroom is clean.
Yeah. Or in another case, let's say you're at home and they tell you, hey, clean your room or you can't watch TV. You should clean your room before they come in again and see that it is not clean. So do your work before someone tells you to do it, and then after and if you don't do your work on time, then you can't. Yeah, to-do list. You can't watch TV. That's Corey. Be punctual. So every day, a lot of us have schedules. So we have to always be here on time. For example, this live goes on at every day at 10 a.m. So if you're not here at 10 a.m., you come at 10:45, then you missed it, and now you don't get to participate or be part of the YouTube live. You can rewatch it, but it just won't be live anymore. Take breaks. So you don't overwhelm yourself. So you can give your mind a little break. Just take breaks. Have a little snack. Drink water. Do exercise. Eat healthy. Get enough sleep. So we do this at 10 a.m. every morning, and we always start out with exercise. That way you can wake your body up and be ready for the day. Everyone should be eating healthy. So.
And everybody should get enough sleep.
Yeah,
and
get enough
sleep. If you
sleep.
don't have at least 2 of them, your body will be very tired.
Yeah, so get enough sleep. Don't go to bed at 2 a.m. in the morning. Go to bed at a reasonable time, around 9, 10. Wake up early. Eat your breakfast.
Do some exercise.
Do
if you're
some
not
exercise.
able to go out, walk around the house.
Yeah. Limit your social media time, right?
That's very important.
Yeah, it ties into the getting exercise, because if you're on your phone 24/7, then you don't have enough time to do other things like that your body
you
needs.
You won't be able to do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then you waste your time because you could have opportunity to do different things, but you're just on your phone.
Yeah. So, get off your phone for a little bit, or get off your video games. Go read a book. Do some exercise.
Help clean the house.
Help clean the house. Walk your pet, and
take care of yourself.
Just take care of yourself. So building good habits leads to success.
Yeah, that's so true. And not only at work, it's also on life. And I know right now you guys not able to go to volunteer and stuff, but you could practice all these steps at home, doing work at home. It's talking about timing, it's talking about writing what you're gonna do. So maybe you can sit down and write in a notebook, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna wash the dishes, or I'm gonna clean the bathroom. Just practice these steps at home, and that will help you.
Yeah, and even if you write them down and you don't get to do them, you're still succeeding. You're still moving forward because you started writing things down. So that's a beginning step. You're taking baby steps, and all that matters is that you're moving forward.
Or maybe you could do it the next day.
Yeah.
If you're not able to do it that day.
Created using Powtoon.
So So this next one is about and the planet.
Hi guys, welcome back to the fort. Today, Squeaks and I thought we'd do a little sightseeing using our telescope. We're gonna tour our solar system. The solar system is made up of the sun, the earth, and 7 other planets, plus lots of dust, big rocks, gas, and other stuff. All of that stuff together is in orbit around the sun, traveling around it over and over, and the solar system is huge. It's so huge that only one spacecraft so far has ever flown from the Earth all the way to the edge of the solar system. It's called Voyager 1. It's a probe about the size of a small car, but doesn't have any people in it. It has flown from Earth through the solar system, taking pictures of lots of the planets as it went, and it took over 35 years to reach the edge. It's so big that today we're just gonna cover half of it. And keep in mind, it took Voyager 1 all that time to fly from Earth, and Earth isn't even at the middle of our solar system. The sun is, so let's start there, right at the center of the action. The sun is a star, and like most stars, it's a huge ball of super hot gas that gives off light and heat. Without the sun, Earth would be a dark, frozen world with no life. But Earth isn't the closest planet to the sun, that would be Mercury. Not only is Mercury the closest planet to the sun, it's also the smallest. It's less than half the size of the Earth. Mercury doesn't have a lot of gases around it like Earth does. Without these gases to hold and heat, Mercury has the biggest changes in temperature of any of the planets. It can go from a super chilly 170 degrees below zero at night to a very warm 425 degrees Celsius during the day. People couldn't survive on Mercury, and I don't think robotic rats could either. And things get even more extreme on Venus, the next closest planet to the sun. Venus is the brightest planet in our solar system. If you know where to look, you can sometimes spot it from Earth, especially just after the sun sets at night, or just before when it rises in the morning. We've sent probes to Venus to take pictures too. They show us that the planet is rocky and covered with thick clouds, but doesn't have any life on it because Venus is extremely hot. In fact, even though it's not the closest to the sun, Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system, with temperatures reaching as high as 460 degrees Celsius. Whew! Let's cool off and head to the next planet. Hey, this place looks familiar. Welcome back to Earth. Earth is about 93 million miles from the sun, and it takes 365 days, our year, for the Earth to orbit the sun. And Earth is unlike any other planet.
And that's why we have a year, actually. So if you go back,
93 million miles from the sun, and it takes 365 days, our...
And you see that it takes the Earth 365 days to go around the sun. That's what gives us the year. That's why we have a year, because 365 days for Earth to go around the sun. And that also gives us the seasons. Well, Earth's wobble gives us the seasons because we're not just spinning. The Earth is also wobbling. That's what gives us seasons.
Our year for the Earth to orbit the sun. And Earth is unlike any other planet in our solar system for at least 2 reasons. Number 1, it's the only planet that we know for sure has liquid water on its surface. And number 2, it's the only planet that we know has life on it. No other planets in the solar system have plants or animals or any living things on them. Earth, you rock. Now let's move on to our last stop for today. It's time for a mission to Mars. Mars's nickname is the Red Planet. That's because Mars has a lot of minerals on its surface that give it a unique reddish color. Mars is sort of similar to the planet that we live on. The length of a day on Mars is almost the same as a day on Earth. It's just about 40 minutes longer. And Mars even has some ice on it, frozen at its North Pole. But as far as we know, there's no liquid water anywhere on Mars because it's so cold. Mars also has mountains and canyons like Earth. In fact, it's home to the solar system's biggest volcano. Scientists have named it Olympus Mons, and it's nearly 3 times larger than Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth. Clearly, the solar system is an amazing place, full of different worlds with all kinds of extreme environments. And we've only covered 4 planets so far. And those 4 planets all have one thing in common. They're all solid worlds with hard, rocky surfaces that, if you ever went there, you could stand on. Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are what we call rocky planets. But next time, we're going to tour planets with no surface at all, the gas giants. Until next time, thank
So we'll be learning more about Mars next time our live goes on. So Monday morning, we'll cover Mars. And to recap, Earth has 365 days because it takes 365 days to go around the sun. And That's also why we have daylight savings. That's when we move the time up or down, because sometimes the math is a little off and we have to adjust for it. That's every 4 years, by the way.
That's it.
So thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back Monday morning at 10 a.m. We'll be sending out
Information about next week,
and I'll be doing YouTube gaming on Monday at 1 p.m. So be sure to join me. I'm gonna play a game called Stardew Valley, and I want you guys to join and help me out. Participate. Tell me what to do. Help me grow the farm, because it's going to be a farming game, and it's nice. It's a nice game. I like it.
We're gonna do the video shot on Monday, 11:30, and
so be sure to join us and enjoy your weekend. And if you have any questions,
ask your coaches or call the office if you have any questions. Take care of yourself.
Corey likes plants.
Weekend. Corey likes plants?
It says plants, yes. So, planets. Me too, Corey. That's one of my favorite subjects. I like science. I like space. So I'll be sure to include more of those in
It's very interesting.
in the videos, so Corey can learn more about space.
Thank you for the support.
Thank you for the support, Corey. We appreciate it. So, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you guys on Monday. Be sure to get plenty of rest. Do your chores. And
have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.